either, but it does look like that at the moment. The track looks very very it looks like a very sunny day at the moment. But going forth, we do finally have updated drivers standings going into this round, and they are as follows. In P1 is Craggy on 72 points. He's had a very very good start to the season. He's won 2 races and finished P3 as well. And then followed him is Dynamic Duo. Last time out, won his first race of the season. He's on 40 points, 32 behind Craggy in P1. Kevin Cow, the American in the Alpine, is behind on 36 points. And then P4, Goran, he's only 3 points behind Kevin. P5 is PW Jones, and then Sid, Paco, Matty Robbo, Charlie, and Andres round out your top 10. Lee Barber on the track, that's what we'll be calling him, but it says Lee Hill on the graphic. He's 11th, first driver outside the top 10 in the bottom half of the grid. Rob Starr, Lewis, and Havoc Connor, and then Griffin round out your top 15. Pipe Tech, Tay, Tierlaid, and then surprisingly, which I noticed earlier, Racer, last season's champion, you can see as well with the icon, on 1 point so far. His best finish of 10th so far this season, which is surprising. And then Sam rounds out your grid, yet to score any points this season after some hard luck in the first opening rounds.
Absolutely. And now, as we take a quick look at the constructors' standings, after 4 races, it is the Kick Salvers leading the charge. That will be Craggy doing it for the Kick Salver with those mighty points, leading the championship with quite a gap to P2. So he might feel a bit safe out here tonight in Canada, afford to lose a bit of points. Although he doesn't want to, he'll still push on for victory. Haas taking it in P2 after Dynamic Duo gets his first race victory last time out. He put up a stellar performance and won in what was a beautiful Spanish Grand Prix. Mercedes in third, Alpine in fourth, and Williams rounding up your top five. Ferrari sixth, the V Carbs. It always catches me off that when he says RB. Makes me think of Red Bull, but it's not. It's the V Carbs in seventh, Aston Martin in eighth, Red Bull in ninth. A bit disappointing for the Red Bulls, but leveling points with McLaren down there in 10th. But don't let us keep you waiting any longer as qualifying is beginning.
Yeah.
Couple drivers on the laps.
I've been keeping track. The first driver that's going to set a lap time is Griffin, and then his behind him is one of the Hasses. I think it's Goran is the only Hass on the grid today. We have an absent Dynamic Duo at the moment, but he still has time to make it into the lobby. But yeah, Griffin, and then it's going to be Goran, and then it's the Aston behind him. Those are the drivers on laps. Everyone else is on out laps at the moment. You can see an Aston just getting in the way of Griffin a tiny bit, maybe into the chicane. Though he gets out of the way.
Or did he
Possibly
find
just
it
a
round while the
distraction,
champions comes
yeah,
to
possibly a
set
minor
the
distraction.
Minor distraction, but does set the bank a lap. Who did you say was next? Sorry.
No, it's going to be Goran. Goes ever so slightly faster by 2/10 than Tierlaid sets a lap. Three, nearly just shy of 4/10 behind, goes P3 on his banker lap. Only 3 drivers though. Piney says you sound a little bit quiet and the stream's on full volume, Brooksy.
I sound quiet while the stream is on.
You don't sound quiet to me, so it might be on the stream, but
okay, let me just minor adjustment here. Is that better? Do I sound a bit better though?
Francois says it sounds fine, so Havoc Connor on his out lap. I hope he didn't just ruin both of his laps. Oh, he has. That's unfortunate. He got this and next lap.
Lee Bob has invalidated. Charlie, a driver who's known to show some pretty stellar pace, is invalidated his lap, but he is on the medium compound tyre. So testing the waters, testing his setup to see how it feels, and as he picked the right choice, you can only make minor adjustments after Park Fermi has kicked in. So he needs to stay. Keep an eye on the setups around here. Lower or higher downforce? What's the choice?
Someone I'm keen to see the pace of in the season is Sam. He's P12 at the moment. He has invalidated his lap, so this one won't count. He's come back into the pit, so that's close, and he's nearly murdered someone into the pit lane, one of the Alpines. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going to be made of that. I went past comment just now, and I've just seen on the stream, so it'll be a few seconds behind, but Hako had a massive snap.
He just
invalidated now.
Yeah, he invalidated. But before that, when you was mentioning Sam having a moment in the pit lane, we had a beautiful angle of Hako getting mighty close to the wall coming out of turn 4.
well, about to overtake him on the track now is the Aston Martin of D Summers. He's on his first fast lap. The first lap time that he's set that's actually valid is just an outlap, I think. He's
He's
7 seconds
deploying
off the
battery.
pace, so yeah, he probably didn't deploy battery on that lap. He's coming down the straight. He's getting a nice tow from Hako as well now, down the straight. Hako then stops to the side, so he doesn't get any more of it. But he comes down now into the final chicane. Can he stop himself from invalidating? Possibly he did it on the first attempt. He didn't this time. He's kept it nice and tidy. Short run to the line now. All the battery you've got left. Cross the line, and he
P4.
goes P4, 6 tenths off Goran's time. Not too bad for a banker lap.
Not too bad indeed. The Aston Martins are taking that second row. Lockout's looking fine already. Couple drivers invalidating, so they're straight back into the pits
Well,
and straight back out on the track.
something I'd like to follow now. Craggy's just set his across the line, starts his first lap of the session. Fastest driver so far this season, without a doubt. It comes through turn one. It's nice and tidy. I really, really do think we should follow with this lap now
We
through
are on
sector
board.
one. You want to get as much of a cut as you can without invalidating through that chicane. It looked quite nice. He didn't run too far out wide. He had a bit extra space he could have used on the exit, but it's no bother now. He goes fastest in the first sector, and he's invalidated on the inside curb in sector two. So as I said before, it's so hard to manage the space that you're using, especially on the circuit.
Absolutely correct. So I'm just trying to see if the reserve driver would like to step in for a missing driver. We could have the full grid here. We've had no response from the dynamic duo, so we could potentially see a step in here.
Yeah, there's one space left on the grid, so I think that's a good option. Someone who's on a lap.
Holy Bob, he's not on a lap, but he could have got a perfect tour there. Was it Charlie? It wasn't. It
Yeah,
was the other V carb of Sebi.
Charlie. It's Charlie's on a lap here. He's
Goes
on the
into
run, and
pits.
as he usually does on his first lap on the medium tyres, he has set 2 purple sectors, but I'm not sure how valid that is. I think that might just be personal bests because it's his first lap. The number 5 V carb now powering all the way down the back straight. Open this as a DRS as soon as you can, right over the line. Deploying all the battery now, trying to make sure you have some left through the chicanes. Trying to save as much as you can just to burst it all now down the straight. Gets a nice run through the final chicane. Doesn't get too much time loss on the outside. Goes P3 with just 1.5 tenths shy of Goran, which is a very, very tidy lap indeed. And then Sid goes 2 tenths fastest. We missed that. It was just behind Charlie, crossed the line just after him.
Oh, mighty fine performance there from Sid, snatching pole position by just over 2 tenths.
I've just received a friend request from someone. Is that someone that you've asked me to
Malvern,
add?
that's the reserve driver who's going to step in the Haas, and therefore we shall see a full grid today.
Yeah, it's always good to see. Getting invited to him swiftly. Got one.
At least gives him a chance in the closing minutes to get a qualifying lap in.
Yeah, not too long left of the session. Just 10 minutes now to go. Just under anyway, 9 minutes about. He's joined and he is in. He will take his seat and get out onto the track as soon as possible, I'd guess. People who I think is Charlie setting another lap. I think surely he's coming into the pits.
He is
Yeah,
coming
into
to
the
the
pits he
pits.
comes. There's a
PW
Mercedes.
Jones.
There's a
Invalid.
Mercedes starting his lap. It's E-Cos Hako.
Sam has invalidated.
I know. Who is Craggy? Craggy, oh yeah, Craggy's setting his. Oh no, he's not. It's Matty Robber.
Matt is
his
on an
outlap.
8 lap.
Has he got double invalidation? No.
He comes to the line to start that lap. Fires it round turn 1 and flicks it back round to the right into
He's got
the
damage.
U-turn of turn 2. Has he got damage? He has. He's missing his front right side of his wing. The front right side has been decimated. Disappeared.
Yeah,
There's only shards of it remaining.
Yeah, sure, that's red. Well, I'll tell you who's starting a lap. Craggy. Powering down across the line. Setting his first lap. Of course, he invalidated, but he's got traffic just ahead. He's going to be getting big amounts of dirty air. We've had quite a lot of invalidations here. If you look at the timing board, you can see all the drivers who have invalidated. They're all on laps now. So I'll go and find out who is first in this train. And I
Well,
believe
Griffin's about to cross the line. He's currently up on his time and he comes powering towards the line. It will be pole position by just over a tenth and a half. Beautiful stuff. We just caught the second half of his lap. The Alpine driver sending it to the top and snatching pole. But there's
the
still
next
seven
person.
and a half minutes to go.
It's Rob Starr, the next person who's going to set a representative lap time. It looked quite decent. He's going to jump a couple of positions here. He goes up just one position, jumps his teammate PW Jones for P11. And then next is going to be one of the V carbs. It was, I think, Sebi starting his lap and he invalidated. So that means it's going to be Sam next. He's kept it finally a lap that he hasn't invalidated. He crosses the line now. What's it going to be? Goes up to P11, just 1.3 seconds off the current pole lap time. But not too bad for a banker. He will have another chance if he gets around the track quick enough.
Braggy, your championship leader, starting a lap, but the battery is still flashing away. Is he on a double out lap? So
I
it
think he's just
seems.
having I think he's just probably made a mistake or something. That was his second. That was his
Oh,
second run on those tires because he invalidated his first run, and then he's done 4 laps on those tires. So he needs to come
invalidation
in.
for the Mercedes Paco.
Oh, Sebi's got no front wing.
So we're completely missing that front wing. So we'll certainly head straight to the pits to have that replaced and then try again. Goes off the track, spins it round
Oh.
gloriously, a little flick of the wrist.
Someone that hasn't even come out of the pits yet, I don't think is Racer, so that's interesting. I know he has. He's done 3 laps, but I think they're invalidated. But
Whoa.
they'll all be now thinking about. I think there's a couple of drivers coming out for extra runs. Atay's out there on his outlap. You got Tierlaid on an outlap. Who's actually on a lap? I think Kevin Cow's on a lap.
No, press 5 instead of 6 as he fires it round turn 3. Tries to flick it back to the left of turn 4. Looking fairly decent through there. Down on his time currently, so not what he wanted in the first sector. But
He's
powers
backed
on.
out.
He's backed out, has he? Yeah, the Haas
Yeah.
coming through. Who will that be? Malvern, the reserve driver, looking to set a lap.
Yeah, he's on his lap now. That was quite a cinematic cut there to him as he come and overtook Kevin Cow into the third sector. Now he gets a nice and tidy line through the final chicane of the lap before the back straight, that is, for the hairpin.
Round
Comes
turn
out the hairpin.
10
It's quite a
hairpin.
rough ride for the hairpin. Quite a rough ride. Doesn't get the tidiest line, so he will lose a little bit of time there. But he's powering down the straight. He's running out of ERS quite early on the straight, so he's going to lose a fair bit of time there. I wouldn't expect this to be the fastest lap ever, but don't invalidate through the final chicane. Nice, quick run to the line now. Power everything you've got, and he goes P5.
Oh,
Shut me up
just
quite quickly.
behind his teammate by 0.02 of a second.
Wow, that's a statement as a reserve to make on your first banker lap late into the session.
But what we have not seen is how close it is between Charlie and Griffin.
Very, very close indeed, but it's the least you expect in qualifying for these sessions. They're always super close. Havoc Connor retires in P19, so he will be starting from the back row of the grid, which is an unfortunate position for the McLaren.
Currently on
Who
board with
is
Luis Suarez, the Red Bull, powering towards the line. He looked good out of coming out of all the champions. Goes P4, knocking them down. The Ferrari behind him goes into the pits. Tia Laird coming down the back straight is firing it round the final 2 corners of final
he's
chicane.
going to have a big improvement here. I can see it on the Delta.
Boom! Up into P5, knocking the Haas team down even more places.
3.5 attempts to gap to Griffin from Tierlaid, covering the top 5, which is a good gap to have. Someone starting their lap now is Matty Robbo. I think he's got a double invalidation though, maybe.
Maybe, but maybe he's not so worried about that. He can just conserve a bit of fuel and go again. He has the time to do so. Now he needs to manage his tyres and manage the temperature.
Yeah, you'll have to do quite a bit of time management. Sam starting his lap. Well, actually, I think it'd be more interesting to look at the fight for pole because Sid is on a decent lap now. Goes purple in the first sector fastest sector 1 so far this session. He gets a nice and tidy run out of the sector 2 chicane, gets the DRS on early, getting as much power as he can down without using too much DRS. Don't cut the chicane. Oh, that was so close, but he kept it just 2 wheels in the track. Doesn't go off track. He's locked in on this lap. Gets a nice run towards the hairpin now. And he doesn't lock up. I don't know if he's using ABS or not, but he doesn't get too much on the power either. So he's going to open the DRS early now, and it's a nice and easy run to the chicane where it's easy to invalidate. Can he not invalidate?
He needs to keep it nice and tidy on the track as he powers down to the final 2 corners, 13 and 14, and gets that rear wing open, draining everything. He's got to try and improve on his time and potentially take pole, and it will be pole by just over 2.5 tenths. A stellar lap of 109.3, much needed to snatch P1 away. As we
First blood goes to Sid in the fight for pole. It's 2.5 tenths now to the driver in P2. It's Griffin. He's still in the pits, so it looks quite late to be coming out now. He does come out. He's just started his outlap, so he needs to get a move on if he does want to have another chance at pole. But Sid looking on course for 2 poles in a row. After last time out, he did get pole, but unfortunate events on the first lap led him to get quite low points, but still points nonetheless. Now,
absolutely, we're on board with
Goran.
Goran trying to retaliate in any way. Only jumps up 1 position, takes P5. Ferrari's coming towards the line, both of them to start their laps. Kicks Albert. Is it Craggy or is it will be Craggy? Goes up by us. 1.5 seconds, just shy of 1.5 seconds. It's a 1:10.4, but it's only good enough for P10.
Possibly a bogey track for our championship leader then, which means that other drivers have the opportunity to gain from this race. Lee Bob is someone who's on quite a decent lap at the moment, gaining by 1.5 tenths. That would put him probably P8, only a little bit of a gain on track though in terms of position. Driver ahead is his teammate, might be giving him a little bit of a tow.
Sid's going again.
Sid's going again?
Sid's going again.
I mean, use up the tyres if they're... You're not going to use them again, I suppose. I wonder if he'll improve.
He sat behind his teammate, but who shall be first towards the line? It's not Sam, so it will be Lewis, but he's on an outlap. The Ferraris will be the ones to cross the line first.
It's Lee Bob. I don't know if
it's not his teammate. It's Tay comes powering towards the line. Can you improve by any way, shape or form? Jumps up to P6. Lee Bob powers towards the line. Jumps P7 just behind his teammate of Tay.
Everyone else now comes across the line is finishing their session. I see that there's been an incident between Craggy and possibly Sebi. I'm not sure what's happened there. But the next driver's going to cross the line. It's going to be one of the Williams. It's PW Jones. It's an unfortunate lap for him. He doesn't gain any positions. It's P15 on the starting grid. The next driver that's going to cross the line to set a lap is one of the Red Bulls. It's Sam. He's powering towards the line. He has not invalidated his lap. He's followed by Rob Starr. There's a lot of debris across the line. And he gets a nice P13, 1.1 seconds off the pace. Was that Kevin Cal? He's gone up to P10 as well. Good luck from him.
I was trying to keep my eye on Griffin there, the battle for pole position, but improves, but not by what he needed. Only 0.5 tenth improvement there. So Sid, as it stands, will take that pole position unless there's anybody else who can respond. And I don't think there is. I think that is it for qualifying. He's invalidated. He has finished as he crosses the line. Tay not doing a lap. I don't think he's not. Lee Bob not doing a lap. Everybody's just coming around the track to finish the laps and then qualifying. So that will be it. Sid taking pole position. A beautiful display there.
2 poles in a row for Sid CTB1. Who would have thought it? Well done, Sid. Can he convert it and lead into turn 1 this time? What do you think, people? Get your opinions in the chat. What do you think is going to happen?
Not entirely sure, but apparently there may be a penalty coming Sid's way.
We'll soon find out. I'm not sure what happened, but we didn't see it, so Sid hit the grass. Turn 1. It's unfortunate. What does that mean?
Not entirely sure. If he put a driver off, did he impede? That's not informative. However, the session will now come to a close and we shall set our sights on the Grand Prix ahead of us. This should be spicy as all the drivers try and navigate this 4.361 kilometre long track. It's first introduced in 1978. So a lot of history in Canada, in Montreal. Also has a double dose of DRS down that back straight and the pit straight with only having 2 detection points. So once you pick up the DRS in sector 3, you have it for 2 zones, so it certainly works to your advantage. If you don't pass your opponent down that back straight, you can certainly get right up on the tail, right up close to that diffuser and pass on the main straight. So down into turn 1, a favoured hot spot for overtaking the back straight, I reckon. Overtaking as well as the hairpin of turn 10. Could be one of those hot spots for overtakes. What do you think, Tom?
Could you repeat that again? Sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Oh, my bad. Do you think turn 10 being a hot spot for overtaking, the hairpin, the very tight hairpin before you get onto the back straight in sector 3?
Absolutely, it's an overtaking opportunity, but what we might see there is DRS games because the DRS detection zone is right before the hairpin into the final sector, so be wary of drivers overtaking there. You will see some manoeuvres that you might not be able to explain immediately, but get asking them in the chat, and if I see them, I will explain them for you, don't worry. I wonder what the strategy is going to be like. What drivers do you think will start on what tyres?
I
And
think
also,
people
weather, it's
might
quite dark.
soft. Yeah, people might go for the maybe medium or hard, potentially going long, but the lights are on, the skies are grey, it's looking grim. The 5 lights, and the lights are out, and we are all go, go, go for EU2 here in Montreal, and it's a good getaway from Sid, but straight being attacked from Griffin. The Alpine to the outside line, but could potentially switch you back to the inside line as Sid runs a little bit wide. It is side by side on the exit. He left it
Left the
open.
door open, but he's maintained the lead into sector 2. There's been an incident behind. We've got yellow flags. I'm not sure what's happened.
Oh,
it doesn't look too serious.
VSC, straight out of the gates. Everybody catching up.
PW Jones, no front wing, but no one's retired as of yet. So we'll soon find out what that means. I wonder what happened there. It's quite a tight first sector, and a Ferrari's just hit the wall.
A bit of debris on the track.
It's Lee Bob. He's just got a front left end plate damage for no reason. He wasn't under any pressure. He's folded under no pressure, but at least that slows down the race and allows everyone to, recharge their battery and have a bit more of a, no silly dives. Everyone gets sort of leveled out through the first lap. The chaos is a little bit more manageable.
Absolutely, but that was a bit chaotic. A bit of debris on the track. VSC bringing it in, slowing everybody down, but Lee Bob collecting himself on the wall. Under a VSC. Collect yourself, buddy. Work on the driving.
He'll hope it stays out a little bit longer so he loses less time changing his front wing, as will PW Jones, Sid. I hope he didn't pick up a warning for the chicane there in the VSC. That would be a little bit silly,
green
but
flags.
Under green. No drive-throughs, thankful to see.
Everybody keeping it nice under the Delta, but Sid was got away fairly nicely there. Doesn't seem to be one under attack. It seems to be Griffin potentially being chased by the V-Carb Charlie. Goes out there. That will give Charlie the advantage, but doesn't get through there. Oh, he's disconnected. Get him back in.
So good.
Good response time on that. Look at that. Invite response time. Done and dusted.
He's been invited already, but that means Charlie is the driver chasing Sid. Griffin's going to fall down the order a little bit until he can get back into the session. But at least he's free of any risk of damage from other cars hitting him, I suppose. 1.3 seconds the gap to Sid now from Charlie. He's had 2 invites, Griffin, I promise. PW Jones has retired, he's crashed, and it's a safety car.
Oh, no.
On lap 2. I'm not sure what's happened there.
We are seeing safety car.
Safety car, so I'll just a quick reminder to get the graphic up.
I gotta shout it out.
And Griffin's AI has pit him. It's unfortunate.
I have to shout out the safety car like that because for some reason it's just been noticed.
Lee Bob will enjoy that. Quite a few drivers in the pits already. See what they're going on hards.
Potentially, could be raining soon. Look at the sky; it's looking awfully grey. So a couple drivers box in, going a bit longer, and then having to box once again for intermediate tyres. Is that why we see a lot of mediums?
I've seen Sam stop for mediums, Racer stop for mediums. Everyone's stopping for fresh tyres, so I'm not sure. Maybe they're expecting this safety car to go until. Um, and yeah, I have no idea. I mean, the drivers will probably know something we don't. If someone could probably get a bit of information into the chat if they're listening, please. But I wonder what will happen. Actually, I actually don't. Please don't. I would rather have it as a surprise. Is Griffin back in? Griffin is not online anymore. It says so.
Fun fact: the hards last forever. Interesting. Well, I'm still gonna throw out a little early prediction. I have had no prior information to weather, but looking at that sky, we could potentially see mixed conditions. So, I'm gonna hold out on a limb here and say that everybody's just gonna go as long as they can until that weather may switch on its head, bring a bit of spice to the race, slow the
Yeah,
dynamic down, and show
there
who's
was
really
rain.
got the skill.
I know there's been rain at some point during the races this week. I know in AM 3 last night, 2 a.m. GMT. Well, 2 a.m. in British time. If you are interested in that, Griffin's back in the session. That's good to see. I hope he doesn't retire like on a bug again, because that has happened before. But as it stands, the drivers, Sid, Charlie, and Goran in the top three under safety car conditions as it stands.
Predictions to say that there will be another safety car.
I hope not. I hope not. Some drivers had a good start though. Hacko's had a good start. Havoc Connor's had a good start. I mean, they would have gained under some people pitting, but they'll have weaker tyres now come the safety car restart. Only by, what, 2 laps though? So I wonder if they'll actually suffer too much from it.
I can see the future, and the future says the safety car will be in this lap.
It should be. Excuse me. Oh, excuse my yawning. And
Oh,
Griffin's
Griffin's
left
gone again. Connection issues for the Alpine driver who looked good for potential victory. But at the minute, he's having a few little issues, little icky boos.
I'll get him another invite as soon as possible. There's the confirmation that you wanted. Safety car in this lap, so drivers will weave now to warm up their tyres on the preparation preparation phase of this restart now. But it's up to Sid's discretion. So under safety car restart procedure, the driver, as soon as the lights go out on the safety car, is the driver in P1 leading every single other driver that is remaining in the race. It's up to their discretion. When the cars can start to race again, it's up to them. And he's gone quite early. He's not made it too difficult. Yep, that's quite a safe restart from Sid. Fair play to him. He's not taking too much risk, but he's under threat from Charlie. Charlie to the inside. There's contact, a little bit of contact, but not too much enough to cause damage. But they're nice and safe. And please disregard the safety car banner in the top left. That is a glitch, and there'll be yellow. As soon as there's a yellow flag, it will disappear. It's a visual bug.
Hey, loving the support in the chat there from Potty. Love to see it. But as we push on down to lap 5 again, like he says, ignore that safety car banner. It is not the case. We are green flags racing, racing, racing. With a
Something
minute.
I've noticed.
Come on.
Something I've noticed. Craggy. He's 6 positions off the start, and he's P5 already, so he's already in contention for this race win probably. You couldn't discount him anyway, no matter where he started on this grid. Sid's gone deep, and he's left himself vulnerable to Charlie on the exit of the hairpin. What will happen now down the straight? Charlie not able to get the power down, not enough. Does he have the battery? There will be DRS soon. Sam's made a move on Griffin. That's a good move to see. Is Griffin back in his car? I think he is. He is. That's good to see.
So Griffin back, but he's all the way down into P15. He looked good on the start, but it's now Sid under threat from Charlie. Charlie looking for that inside line into turn 1 once again. Bit of contact there as he still switches it back around to the outside line and pushes on through turn 2, taking lead of the race. Sid under dramatic pressure there, but now he will benefit and try and get that DRS used against him. He picks it up. There's the detection point. Done and dusted.
If you've gone to Craggy, you might get this nice camera that I've got from the helicopter now of this little group.
Gone.
Have you got it? It's Craggy for me.
Yep. No, I don't have it.
It's unfortunate, but it's showing me now. this nice group all the way from Charlie down to Sid. They're all separated by just car lengths in between each other, nice and uniform, taking the line that looks quite satisfying when you're quite up in the air. But they're nose to tail now, snaking through the hairpin. DRS active, I think. We'll see how it affects the drivers now. Is it active? It is.
Well, Sid's got that double door, so again, like I say, you get it down the back straight and you get it down the pit straight.
Be
So,
white for P1.
oh, there it is.
Oh,
Goran jumping ahead.
He's cut to keep the position though, which is unfortunate. I wonder if he'll give it back or just take the warning. Sid yields to Charlie as well. I think he might be down on battery, but Goran taking the lead through the final chicane. But every driver separated just by each other basically, which is very nice to see. If you go back to this little gap for P10, we've got two cars side by side, Hacko and Craggy. What has happened to Craggy? How has he ended up down there? What's happened? I didn't
Not
even notice
having a good race here, is it?
Shoved.
Oh! Through goes Malvern! Wow! That was dramatic.
That was opportunistic. Now Sam looking to get past Craggy. I'm not sure what's occurred here. That's made Craggy so... I don't know how he's dropped like 6 positions without us even noticing, without us batting an eye. I didn't see an incident happen, so...
Why does it never work when I want it to?
Griffin's had a moment there. He's had to cut the chicane as well. But here comes Craggy on Malvern to the outside through the hairpin. They'll both have DRS anyway, but Malvern, he just takes the inside line, runs Craggy a little bit wide. They're still side by side here, but
Nice
Malvern
battle
has to
going on
yield.
there.
Here comes Sam though.
Sam looking to capitalise on that little bit of a battle, sends his Red Bull to the outside of the reserve driver's Haas.
Nice
Swings it through turn 13 and back around 14 gets it done, but looking now to potentially follow Craggy's line. He's moved up into P11, swings it to the inside line of Craggy.
Oh, contact.
Slight contact for the Red Bull and the kick Sauber. Hard racing at best, but pushes on to try and get ahead.
In the meantime, Charlie's picked up his first penalty of the session for track limits, I'm guessing. So that means that he's there just on track at the moment. Goran and Sid yet to get any penalties. We're seeing a lot of warnings coming through now. We've got
Sam,
a yellow flag
wing damage.
someone. Luis.
Sam has wing damage. He's lost both end plates. Oh, one end plate. The front right has gone.
Doesn't look too... No, it hasn't. Not for me. Oh, yeah, it has.
It has.
It doesn't look too bad, though. He did take a knock through turn 1, but he didn't look too bad. I think Craggy could have left him a bit more space, to be honest. He's definitely alongside, but not enough to warrant a penalty, I don't think. But I think he can continue, especially if there's rain coming. The skies look very dark. I would expect rain as it stands. I don't know if it's just overcast or what, but yeah, Sam doesn't look too affected by this as he's going for it again. Well, he's saving the battery, and Hacko looks quite vulnerable. Craggy to the inside, takes the position into turn 1.
Sam looking to switch it around the outside and follow through. We're now under attack from the Haas Malvern, looking to potentially come through. He's had to back out of it. Charlie has had a moment, dropping all the way down to P4, dropping another position. So TLA taking a podium position there, Sid in P2. The DRS has been broken between the front 3. So TLA, the one who could be potentially under the biggest threat.
Leibob's gone.
Oh, Leibob's gone. Virtual safety car.
Oh,
there it is.
A serious crash. Look at races. Look at Sebi. Look at Sebi. Oh, the wheel and the debris is still there.
No, it's gone. I missed it.
Yeah, something's occurred there with Racer and Lee Bob. I'd love to know what happened there. We've had Huff and Dobak gift 5 subs to the channel. He's gifted 5 subs. So welcome Von Reich, the lanky one. What a legend the lanky one is. Perticus, Lima, and Sandidam to the channel. Very nice. Well done. Thank you, Huff and Dobak. What a hero.
What a guy. Yeah, 5 subscription gifts. Absolutely
legend. This is
legend.
full safety car. Not virtual, it's full.
It's on the track. We will go to full safety car conditions. Drivers boxing, so we shall look at the tyre choices. Because why not? Well, still no rain.
Yeah. The drivers who pit early are probably kicking themselves a little bit at the moment. Sam should have just pit. I don't know why he didn't, unless his damage really isn't that bad. He'll have a few cars at a buffer to the people behind him anyway, so I really think he should have stopped though to repair his wing, especially if there's rain coming. I don't know if there is going to be rain coming though.
Well, we've gone on a limb on our own strategy without any prior information. We just sort of winged it a little bit there and said there's going to be rain, the skies are grey. So it could not happen yet, but drivers choosing to box and potentially go long now. 25 laps. It's quite a margin on hard tyres. We have Tate on the mediums, so that will be a medium soft for the Ferrari, and maybe medium soft for the Red Bull. Luis Suarez in P16, also on the mediums.
He had damage. Sebi retires. He just crashed. I think he might have just crashed.
See the positions again there, so a lot of drivers up and down from their starting positions. Oh, I was trying to get the penalties. There it is. There's the penalty. 6 seconds for D Summers. 6 for Malvin. Unfortunate for the reserve driver, but it's not discouraging him from his race. 3 seconds for Havoc Connor, Tealade and Charlie, Tate, and then Racer. All of them on the 3 seconds. Only 2 drivers picking up 6. So we'll just have to hope that they can pray that their rivals pick up a couple of penalties along the way.
It's definitely not over yet.
I do know a lot of drivers one morning. I heard a few complaints about track limits around Canada, so it's going to be difficult. Can we change it to standard?
Not a chance.
Not happening.
Nope. Get a grip. Don't cut the track.
Race hard, boys.
Nathan D says, my guy Connor in P4. Yeah, former teammate of Havoc Connor in the chat supporting his friend. That's good to see. 10 laps old on the hards. So he must have pit in under the first Fiesta, I think.
I do think so. Just now we wait out patiently for the safety car to go back in.
Yeah, so at the moment we can just see D Summers. He's quite violently warming up his tyres. They are 10 laps old, so I think he's just... I mean, the drivers who've stuck it out on track now, I think probably shouldn't have done that, but unless they're planning on going to the end. Safety car is in this lap though, so we've had the confirmation. Here comes so the lights are out, safety car is in, everyone is getting ready to go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers who have not stopped under safety car conditions, who are on older tyres, stopped under the last safety car, and then everyone from Goran downwards, where the former leaders have stopped and then come back out onto the track. So we'll see how those fresher tyres are much grippier, much more of a faster and more enjoyable race tyre. But D Summers had a good restart here. He's gone. Sam is just losing a little bit of time here to D Summers into the first corner. He's under threat from Malvin, who does have penalties though. There's a bit of a bigger gap to Havoc Connor. I think they've had a really good restart at the front. It might have caught the drivers behind them out a little bit. So we'll see how that plays out.
Absolutely. Malvin, they're looking to put pressure on Sam, the Red Bull ahead, but Sam's closing up to D Summers on that start. A second gap to Havoc Connor. The McLaren not getting the start that he wanted. He's dropped down but further behind the front three, but Griffin is catching up very quickly, looking to get past, and then we'll push on for the front three.
I thought I saw 3 wide there at the back, but it wasn't. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on how Goran and Sid make their way back through these drivers on older tyres.
Do ignore the safety car banner. It's a bug, and we are not under safety car conditions.
It is a bug. And Sid didn't just pick up damage, did he?
I hope not.
No, I don't think he did. He was quite close to, though. Just stuck behind Matty Robbo at the moment in the kick but doing his teammate a favour. He was back down in P13, having an off day at the moment, our championship leader.
Charlie sending it! Whoa, through the final chicane, gets past Tealade in the Aston Martin. That was beautiful.
Another move that shifts the curve occurring is Goran at the inside of Matty Robbo into the first corner, but Matty Robbo does fight back, which means that Sid can capitalise on the off-put line from Goran. He's taken to the inside now into the next chicane, but he just that was not unsportsmanlike, but a little bit rude of Goran. I think he just chopped Sid off a little bit there. I wonder how that'll play out after the race, but we'll continue anyway.
That was Colossus. Charlie got that open door and took it, diving through the downhill sector, turn 3. It's downhill in sector 1, turn 3 and 4. picking up that position off Sid. Nicely done. We'll now push on to try and get past this Haas. He had a bit of a look to the inside. Does send it to the inside. Oh, hits Matty Robbo. Huge contact there. Huge controversial moment. Matty Robbo spun all the way around to the back of the field after Charlie goes too deep and hits that rear diffuser and also takes off the front right end plate of his wing. Or front left end plate of his wing.
Doesn't pit, and he's just taken a cut through the final chicane. So I wonder how this will be taken to the stewards. But it's just all the more action for us to commentate and look at, which brings Tillade and Craggy into this fight as well. So we've got a nice little scrap here for the points paying positions at the back. Some drivers on harder, older tyres. Just trying to hold off drivers on that have stopped a little bit later. Charlie picks up another penalty and he's hit the wall again.
Oh, he's really struggling now to try and maintain that pace without damage.
He's got red on both sides of his front wing. I think he'll probably retire in a moment.
Oh, there it is. He can't get the exit. He's dropping the positions, falling down to P10. Oh, he's being punished now for that bit of a deep moment. Just missed the brakes ever so slightly. Went for a big send to the inside line and ended up catching Matty Robbo in the process.
Yeah, I think he's got red on both sides. I'm pretty sure it's just a plank of carbon fibre at the front like it used to be in the olden days. I think he'll have to stop now.
Absolutely, but it is Malvern looking to take the lead of the race as he does with ease, using that DRS and a bit of battery. Gets past the Aston Martin D Summers. It's now Sam in P3 who sets sights on getting past D Summers, sends it to the inside line. Does get it done, but runs a little bit wide out of turn 2. Collects himself nicely and presses on. Sam also has quite a lot of front wing damage, but it's balanced out nicely and he's pushing on.
Yeah, I think it's not too bad actually.
It's just the front right end plate still gone. Oh, Malvern's disconnected. It's going to be easy pickings for Sam to pick up lead of the race here.
Good for him, because one thing that Sam needs to do is to pit again. So something that would be quite enjoyable for him is a safety car.
Absolutely, I think he's holding out on that possibility. If he remains where he is
on track, because the driver ahead of him, I think one thing we should do for this weekend, just front off, is to have penalties up.
I've already put them up a couple of times, but we can look at them again.
Everyone's getting one in every 5 seconds. It's quite severe today.
There you go, Sam for lead of the race. Only 3 seconds, so it is currently the pole position. It is P1. 3 seconds for Griffin and Havoc Connor, the only 2 drivers who could possibly respond to that, as Malvern and D Summers have 6 seconds of penalties. So Sam currently looking like he can take his first victory here. Will this be a different race winner once again in EU2? Dynamic duo last week. Could it be Red Bull this week? Still 19 laps to go. Still a lot of laps to play out in this race. Anything can happen.
Probably a safety car and to stop again for mediums. So he needs it probably a little bit later than it is at the moment, to be honest. I'm unsure at the moment. I don't think Sam's going to win this race. He might get good points though, if certain things play into his hand. But at the moment, I think it's just up in the air with the way the strategy's played out.
Mate, he's flying
a lot of drivers would like a fresh run, a clean run to the end even, sorry.
He's flying. It's another 3 seconds for D Summers. He's almost broke the DRS though. It's 8 tenths, 9 tenths, just fluctuating between that 1 second. Picks up the 1 second. Sam absolutely sending it down the back straight. Doesn't care about that DRS. He's got a second gap, but was it enough? It's not. The rear wing is open on D Summers. He will continue to try and press and break that gap once again. Can he do it? He almost had it there on lap 16. Set sights on lap 17 to do it once more. But it is 9 seconds penalty for D Summers. Not much of a threat. Malvern gets himself back into the lobby and will try and continue to press on for what could have been a race victory, but has dropped all the way down once again. They're preying on a safety car strategy being one of choice. All these drivers are bunched together, so close together.
The hopes of a win for these drivers ahead are slowly fading, as I can see that Garan and Sid are arriving on the scene without penalties and with fresher tyres, and were the net leaders before the pit stop. So all they need to do is overtake these guys on their fresher rubber, and they will be the real leaders of this race.
providing they can keep it clean again for the 18 laps yet to come. Still a lot of laps to go, a lot of corners to navigate where you could potentially run wide and pick up that infamous 3 seconds. So keep pressing on, keep pushing forward, and keep it on the track, most importantly.
Yeah. That's all you can really say, to be honest. I think Sid's doing a good job of staying with Goran, who's the driver that's probably a little bit on a pace that's higher than his. But today, Sid's holding his own at the moment. Albert Connor's had a crash, and there it
Safety
is.
car, there it is! I
There
don't
it is.
believe it!
I think everyone should come in, to be honest. Just saying, you know.
Sammy's going to be screaming at the top of his lungs.
He needed that. I wonder what he'll stop onto, though. I think it might have to be hards if he's got them, but I don't know what he stopped on. I'll check the race director now. Please be starting on softs. He started on softs. Oh, yes. So he's got hards at the end if he wants them.
This is dramatic.
Some people have already come in, so he'll need... So if he stops for hards, he'll come out... I don't know. Certain people might not stop, but I think he should.
Well, drivers opting for the medium compounder tyre. Will he go for the mediums or will he go for the hards? The hards may be the better choice, lasting a little bit longer than the mediums. He has done a stint on the mediums now, so he will know how they feel.
He'll know the pace of the tyres. He'll know what the wear is on his car at the moment, so he'll be able to project in his head, you know, with the math, what it'll be. He has to stop though, for sure, and there it is. Don't get 10 seconds.
He will swap that wing as well, so potentially drop down a couple positions.
Yep, a few drivers staying out. I see Griffin stayed out.
On go the Meads.
Gone mediums. Did he serve a penalty?
He did not.
I think he didn't change his wing though.
He didn't change his wing. He feels comfortable, I suggest.
Yeah, he might not think it's too bad. I mean, at this track, it's a lot of chicanes, and a lot of them are
low speed corners, so I guess he can get away with it.
It depends as well. What side, which turning left or right would be affected?
I think right turn would be more affected.
Yeah,
left turn would be more affected, and that front right tyre is going to take an absolute beating.
Yeah, it will. It'll be suffering quite a lot, but
the right-handers seem to be more flat out corners, should I say? There's a lot more right-handers on this track. There's only 2 more right-handers on the track, but if you look at the circuit, they are quite fast corners. You flick it round to the left in turn 4, and then get flat to the floor before you fire it round to the right, turn 5. So, left under there, right under there. It's hard to say. However, the tyre wear is more.
I'm definitely going to pull up tyres now, see what people have done. And yeah, so Sam has stopped, and everyone who was behind him posing a threat has stopped as well. Everyone ahead of him is overtakeable for sure. He's on rubber that is softer and fresher. So if Sam dispatches of these drivers ahead of him quick enough and safely enough without getting any more damage and penalties, and the drivers behind him don't do as good a job as him, he can genuinely win this race. Everyone ahead of him could be way slower.
Yeah, Sam is in a perfect position here, being at the front of the pack for the drivers who are boxed onto fresh tyres. Safety car bunching up all the drivers once again, so when we get to that restart, they'll have that fresh grip, that vital, important rubber as they press on for the lead of the race and try and get past the front 4 drivers. Griffin, 17 laps on those hard tyres, and then 10 for Goran, Kevin, and Tia Lade. So far, Sam being the driver to watch to push on for net P1.
Yeah, and while we're on the safety car, you'll have to excuse me for 2 moments because I do need to go somewhere for literally like 40 seconds.
I'll crack on. Will we take a quick look at the penalties? 3 seconds for Griffin. 6, 9, and 9 are your larger gap. With Racer again with 6, and then 3 and 3 for Sam and Tay. So the safety car might be in this lap, but we see Matty Robbo quite far behind. I don't think he'll be able to catch up in time, although he is dropping that delta dramatically. think we shall do one more lap under safety car conditions, but not to worry. I want to see in the chat what... oh, safety car's in. It's a late call. I don't believe it. So we'll go back to it. And when will Griffin get away? Comes around the final turns, holds it slow, coming down the main straight. Wait, the safety... wait, what? What is going on? What is going on? We saw safety car in this lap and then it's done another lap. Am I the... wait. Yeah. 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 See, I'm not the only one who saw that. A dramatic late call and the safety car realised, oh wait, I'm not in the pits. So we'll do one more lap, I guess. Pack is slowing down ever so slightly. A bigger gap leading to that safety car ahead. Still on board with Goran as Griffin needs to set himself up for the perfect restart. The game doing its thing. No, don't clip me. Why'd you clip me? Oh. You just clipped my fumble and confusion and why did that just happen moment. As we watch on for the drivers getting past turn 9 and push on for that very tight chicane of turn 10.
Some interesting events going on. I didn't miss that. I was looking. I just couldn't speak. I was not in my commentary booth, aka my desk.
Do you see that? He's in safety car in this lap and doesn't go in.
I think it was just a late call. But it will be in this lap, so they would have just done a lap and safety car in this lap. Don't prepare for, to resume racing. They would have just done that for one lap. But here we go then.
Everyone slows down.
Just a reminder for you all.
Safety car is in.
You should be looking out for how Sam is able... oh, Sam's into the pits. What happened there? He's got more damage. He's got more damage.
Dives into the pits, drops positions, but we do get away on the restart.
Oh, no.
A nice jump there for Griffin, but he is on the worn-out compound. Sid will be the one to inherit a potential position, but he's under attack from Malvern. Malvern, the Haas, looking to that inside line, but backside of it before we get to turn 3. Firing round. Sid's up on the grass. 3 seconds. There it is. Picks up penalties. Oh, no. He's got damage. That's disappointing.
No. I have no idea what's going on. The drivers ahead are on going to have dead tyres, but the drivers behind haven't been able to keep it clean, so they're tripping up over each other. Malvern is on his way through. He's got little room.
Oh, no!
He's been a crash. He's got more damage, I think. There's debris on the track.
The absolute scenes in EU2. What has just happened on the restart there? A couple of issues for some drivers. Sid has more damage picking up, losing that front right and left end plate. So now he's going to either balance his car out a little better, although the right side is dramatically more damaged. Craggy dives through, benefiting as he pits. As Sid goes into the pit lane to ultimately change that front wing. But Craggy also has no front right end plate. Has damage, but he's in a good position. There's a battle for P3 there. Kevin Cow jumps up into P2. Sorry, he gets ahead of his teammate Griffin. Griffin on the higher worn out tyres.
Yeah, so the person that's inherited the position of a chance to win this race is Craggy yet again. I mean, you couldn't write him off of anything at the moment. He's got no penalties. He has got a little bit of damage, but he'll be looking now to catch up and then dispatch of the 4 drivers ahead of him on the track to get the lead, because they are on older, harder tyres that are going to be dead by the end of this race. He's on the fresher medium, so he'll be much faster, but I wonder if he's gaining or losing time. He is gaining at the moment ever so slightly, I think.
He's gaining ever so slightly. Only dropped to 10th. It's still quite a margin though. He needs to gain on the drivers ahead. It's still 2.5 seconds if he wants to try and take that position on the track. So he has gained 3 tenths or 4 tenths coming out of turn 10, Herpin, and powers down the back straight, but doesn't have the benefit of DRS.
He is ahead. He's in P3 at the moment on penalties. Griffin with 3 and Tierlady with 9. If you want to bring them up, I saw someone in the chat ask for penalties.
So he will be sitting P3. Well, no, just outside of P3. If you can push a little bit harder, you will get P3. About half a second off P3 at the minute. Oh no, he is pushing harder and does gain a little bit more time though. closes the gap up ever so
He's
slightly.
gaining. He is gaining quite a bit. He will have the DRS in a few laps' time. He's got more than enough time to catch up to the back of them, but will he be able to
Oh,
dispatch them
big
effectively?
send for Malvin, goes round the outside. The Racer and Malvin battling away for points positions at the back of the final closing points positions. It's Matty Robbo who gets past Racer, pushing him down to the bottom. So only 1 point there for the McLaren, unless he can push on and try and get back past. But Matty, having no penalties, will ultimately jump ahead up into potential P7, the way it looks. Maybe even P5 with the penalties ahead, or P6 even with the penalties ahead. 9 seconds for TLA, don't forget. Matty Robbo gets the DRS, passes, gets up into P8. Now he sets sights, his eyes set on the Mercedes ahead. Needs to push a little bit harder. 3 seconds separate those two. Can he gain?
Yeah, Matty Robbo looking quite nice at the moment. He's got he's making the most of the drivers ahead of him making faults today. He's got himself into a nice points pound position as his racer as well. He will be P10 after penalties are applied, looking for his second points finish of the season. And at the moment in a highest place finish this season for himself. Not too bad. Malvin takes more penalties. He's got 12 seconds now.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
Sid's
Sid is
retired.
retired.
In the pits, thank
And
God.
yet again, he's unable to convert his pole into anything satisfactory for himself. 2 weeks in a row. What an unfortunate race for him today.
Sits on the top spot. He's got the 1 lap pace, but can't hold it out in the race. It's unfortunate to see.
Bars. Absolute bars.
A little bit of rhyme there. As we see the teammates
Be a rapper.
do a bit of a switcheroo there. Griffin getting past. Bit of team orders as they pass each other. Let me have a go at Goran ahead, see if I can do anything about it. So Griffin does set sail to attack the Haas driver. Alpine 2 and 3 on the podiums, looking good in terms of constructors, getting some nice juicy points out here in Canada. 9 laps remaining, so it's all push, push, push to the end. If you can do so, the harder compound tyre, as we know, has been known to last forever. But we finally see the safety car graphic has gone. The banner has disappeared, and we have a clean screen. Thank the heavens. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sid, for retiring in the pits, because it's got rid of it.
Tell you what though, Craggy is within DRS of the drivers ahead of him on the older tyres that he needs to dispatch off if he wants to win this race. Kevin Carr and Goran, namely. His first challenge though will be Tierlade, who has penalties. He's not going to make it easy. I mean, I wonder how he's going to approach it, but I doubt Craggy, knowing how fast he is going to be desperate. He knows he's going to score points today, but how many is the question?
Oh, bit of a hiccup there from yourself.
Yeah.
As Griffin looks to jump ahead of Goran, though. DRS making it easy. And it's an Alpine on top as he pushes on for what could potentially be race victory. 8 laps remaining. Can he press on, break the DRS to Goran, and look for victory? Tia Lade and Kevin Cal will be the next battle we look at. It's not, it's Craggy with a big dive into turn 3, flicking it around the right-hander and firing around the left. Gets it done. Beautiful overtake there from the kick sober.
Nice move from Craggy. So his first opportunity was actually against Kevin Cal. Something must have happened that allowed Tierlade to get ahead of him. But he's being eyed up nonetheless. Next for Craggy to overtake. What will he be able to do? When will he do it? Will he do it into the hairpin or will he wait for the DRS? We'll soon find out. It depends on what sort of step he's got on. If he's got lower wings, that means he's faster in the straights. He's got higher threshold for speed, but he does have less grip in the corners. So if he's on a lower wing, he'll look to overtake on the straight, looking like he's doing now. He's taking the slipstream, he's using his battery, he's using the DRS, he's using the slipstream from the cars ahead, braking the air, meaning he's got less air resistance against his car, and Tierlade's rear-ended Goran.
Oh,
Craggy's
no.
got 3 seconds.
Craggy picking up 3 seconds, so there will now have to fight his way for positions. It's Goran, who is net P1 of the race so far. But TLA getting mighty close into the diffuser of that Haas and loses his front left end plate. It's unfortunate for the Aston Martin, but now will ultimately lose position on track to the Kick Sauber. The Kick Sauber doing mighty well, managing the damage he has on his front wing. Now sets sights on a damaged Aston Martin. Craggy, though, is now fighting for P2 at best.
Not necessarily. I mean, if you can dispatch of Goran and get ahead of Griffin and gain some time, which I think he might be able to do, still in contention for the win.
Wishful thinking with 7 laps to go in his current position. Needs to get past the damaged Aston Martin first. He needs to be smart about it and avoid the contact. These drivers are
he'll probably
getting
get
their
past now.
elbows out.
He doesn't want to lose enough time to the drivers ahead for DRS as well.
Oh, here it goes.
Tail has damage.
There goes Craggy. Getting past. Fires it through. Staying clear of the wall of champions. Mighty close was the Aston Martin. But now Craggy, again, best position he could potentially get, unless he can gain 3 seconds in 6 laps. Is
Goran
P2.
takes the lead as well.
Oh, is that Craggy looking to attack? It is! Goes for the inside, wants to get the contact with the Alpina Griffin. Craggy sending him off the track. Opens the door for TLED to push on through as he does try and take that opportunity, but Griffin's trying to defend it like a lion. He's not happy with that. That's certainly going to go to the steward's room. Big controversial moment. There's a huge pile up at the back of that little fight going on. Falling down the order. Craggy managing to get his way up into P2, but Griffin down into P7, dropping behind everyone who's looking to be a part of this DRS train. Craggy 1.5 seconds off potentially attacking Goran after that contact, after that fight, lost the DRS. It's all down to TLED to push on and attack now. Can he do anything to the Kick Sauber and try and get past in the final 5 laps?
Soon find out though. Tay, he's got up into P4 as well, but he does have 3 more seconds than Griffin. Tierlaid though does have 9 seconds, so his race with Tierlaid is full position. But Tierlaid looking to come up against Craggy again. He doesn't just have the pace though. He does have a little bit of damage. I think it's equal damage.
I think he will be on all the opposite sides of the wing, so certain drivers will benefit in certain corners. As Craggy pushes on, drops about a tenth to Goran ahead, but still needs to gain 4.5 seconds to take victory. Needs to get past that Haas and do it now. I don't think Goran's going to let it go lightly though. He sees a victory in sight. He just needs to hold out for 5 laps. Stay on the push for 5 laps. Do not lose too much time. Craggy takes out another 2 tenths as he pushes on into the turn 10 hairpin.
Yeah, Craggy inside the DRS zone. Doesn't have DRS now, but he's within a second, so he'll get it into the next DRS zone
Next lap,
after it'll be on next lap now, because the next detection zone is in sector 1 on the next lap. So will he be able to keep the 1 second gap through sector 1 with the damage? I don't know, but the driver ahead, Goran, he is on tyres that are significantly more worn. They've been on there for 21 laps. So nearly double the time that Craggy's had his, and they're harder. So it's not looking good for him.
No, Craggy's gaining exponentially, but 12 laps on those medium compound tyres for Craggy. They're certainly going to feel a bit grim, especially on the front right side as he picked up that damage. So it's going to wear away more because you don't have that downforce, so you tend to burn away more grip to keep it planted through the corners. So it seriously affects the way your tyres wear out, having that slight wing damage, and will burn away more of that vital rubber you'll need. It's now down to Goran to defend for at least 4 laps as we push on to the back straight once again. Craggy has the DRS and does open that rear wing. It's looking easy for the Kick Sauber. The Haas driver does not fight it too hard. Does try and stay close behind. Oh, Hako! What was that at the back there? Hako in the wall. He is. Drama for the Mercedes driver. Mercedes, both cars out of the race. Yellow flags, no safety car as it stands. The marshals doing a tremendous job clearing that up fairly quickly while cars were coming past. I mean, it's almost magical powers to get that done, but they've done it ever so good, and we have no safety car push on for 3 more laps of racing. Hako out of the Canadian GP.
The race is now determined by Craggy's ability to get 3 seconds of time against Goran, or Goran's ability to keep it within the white lines and not pick up a penalty. I'll give you a warning update on Goran Partner right this second as we check the race director, and I can confirm that he has yet to get a warning until lap 15. He got one, so he's on one warning. He can afford 2 more warnings. We've had another crash, I think. No,
No
it's a pit
retirement
lane
in the pits
retirement.
for the Red Bull.
Unfortunate to see that 7 drivers have retired from this race, but
It was a full
happens.
grade, but Canada's claimed her victims.
Yeah, the circuit Gilles Villeneuve is one that is not to be taken lightly at all.
Absolutely not, but we're still on the front there. With the fight for the lead of the race, he's keeping Craggy behind perfectly well. So staying right there with him, not letting him get past is certainly opening the door of opportunity for Goran to potentially take his first victory here in EU2.
Yeah, here we go though to the DRS zone. Craggy, I think he's just resigned himself to a P2 finish, so that would mean that he does extend his championship lead once again on the drivers behind. Only one driver outscoring him today. But it's not over yet. Goran can still yet get 2 warnings. He's on very old tyres, so he won't have very much grip.
He's doing very well to keep them going so far, but again, has conceded DRS as Craggy will benefit and power down the back straight to look to take that position back. A bit of a swap in DRS here, just swapping it around lap after lap, not fighting too hard. Goran has it all to lose, so he's playing it safe and not risking any potential unwanted damage. As Grellis calls out, Haas Stappen. You know what? It is very nice to see a Haas on top once again. A Haas pushing for race victory. Season 13 holding a very special place in my heart.
Yeah, got a few Haas drivers in the chat. Grellis, Haas driver last season. Huff and Dirtback, I've seen him in the Haas a couple of times. I'm sure he was a Haas driver at some point. And Darko, supporting the Haas, so I'm assuming he is too. So we know who they want to win today.
Grellis in the chat being season 13 EU4 champion with his Haas nicknamed Haas Stappen in EU4 last season. Nice to see you here watching the race, my friend, as we know you've propelled yourself to the EU1, the top tier, the might of contest of speed, especially on our European side.
Yeah, the fastest tier that we have, made up of some of the best drivers. It's lovely to see them race a lot, especially when I'm on track with them. Here we go though, final lap of the race. Craggy leads on to it, but today it's about Goran. He's driven 25 laps on those hard tyres. He's yet to pick up more than 1 warning. 15 laps in, he picked up his first warning. He hasn't picked up anything else.
Oh, could Tay be looking to attack there? Mighty Rebel picks up 3 seconds after multiple warnings. You've been warned. But as we watch on to the Haas driver is under tremendous pressure from the Ferrari Tay behind. Tay looking to keep the pressure on, but I think he's done just enough. If the Haas can stay exactly where he is, he will stay and inherit P1 of the race. It will be a first-time victory for the Haas driver of Goran here in EU2, season 14. But as we come round, turn 10 hairpin for the final time. He's not lost out too much time. Will benefit from the DRSs. He will now push on and try and drain everything he's got. Will he take the position on the track, or will the Ferrari be close enough lurking behind to potentially get himself in the mix, possibly take it away from Craggy? Does he have the potential? He doesn't. Craggy burned all the way, but the Haas conceding the position. Tay picking up another 3 seconds, but it will be going to the Haas as he jumps to the top spot and wins here, round 5 in Montreal, Canada. Beautiful drive for Goran and will win for the first time in EU2 in season 14.
Oh,
beautiful
Kevin
drive.
3 positions there.
Kevin jumping to the podium.
That's unfortunate. If Tay didn't get that penalty across the into the chicane, he would have got 3rd. That's unfortunate. But today it's Goran, Craggy, and Kevin Cow, usual suspect.
Well, Kevin Cow on the podium once again. Craggy, P2, your championship leader, didn't quite get the victory, but P2, as Max Verstappen says, will take it. He'll be happy with that one. It's good points and will not be under any further threats from drivers behind. Not that he was in the first place in the driver's standings. But Goran, the Haas, taking victory. What a beautiful drive. And we see a Haas on the top spot for 2 races in a row. Last race it was Dynamic Duo. This race it's his teammate of Goran. The Haas certainly having some mighty pace over the last couple of races and scoring some decent points as they sit P2 in the Constructors.
Had a good couple of races for sure, haven't they, the Haas drivers?
Absolutely beautiful stuff. Potentially could be in the mix for Constructors while we're at it. Could it be Constructors 2 times in a row? EU4, they were Constructors. In EU2, could we see a Constructors 1 season later for the Haas team? Haas certainly doing bits over the last couple of seasons. So they're getting themselves up there and getting their name made. But it is Tay in P4, Griffin P5, looking good for victory. Qualified further up the field, but couldn't quite get it started on P2. TL8 in 6th, Robstar 7th, Malvin in 8th, Matty Rob on 9th, Sam in P10, picking up a point. And outside of the points positions, we have Racer, D Summers, SJZ, Hako, Sid, CTB1 with a DNF, Havoc Connor, Charlie, Sebi, Lee Bob, and PW Jones. So far, a decent race in Montreal, Canada, and we shall now look on for some interviews. Hey, how you doing? Take a seat in the interview room, why don't you? As we look to get our drivers in here, I'll try and send some invites.
Get some drivers in, wondering what their opinions are on the events of today. Just quickly, I'm just going to have to test something swiftly.
Goran,
I'm just going to mute Bobby here for the interviews.
Kevin.
It's just to do my microphone.
You boys have been invited to the comms booth. If you would like to get interviewed, get yourselves in here. We'll have a few words from yourself and celebrate with the race winner, Goran, providing he can make it in here. That was a beautiful drive from the Haas driver. We can only hope that there is more to come. I've lost my core comms. Oh no. He's left the VC. He's out of here. But we do see the race winner and P2 here in the comms booth. We shall get a wriggle on in a second. We'll try and get Tom Carter back in the booth. Bit of an issue there from him. He's cut himself out of it. Tom Carter's back.
Or disconnected for no reason. That's unfortunate. Just getting kicked out of my own interview room. How unfortunate.
Game kicked him out of his own interview room. What a shame. But now we shall sit down with Craggy P2. You are looking for another victory to propel your lead in the driver standings, but couldn't get it. How do you feel about P2? How was your qualifying? Give us your rundown on your race, mate.
Qualifying, not too bad. I mean, not the best at qualifying at the best of times, but we bring it back in race pace. But the race was very messy, I think. So we'll see what happens after the race.
Certainly a lot of safety cars. How are you feeling in qualifying? I saw you had a couple of invalidations, struggling with track limits, potentially.
Yeah, this is a very track limit track. And if you keep it safe around the track like the winner did today, you're pretty much guaranteed a very good position. Apart from my teammate that spun out on the last lap.
He would have Matty Robbo, unfortunate.
Yeah, he would have been quite high up, but he spun on the last couple of laps. So he's kicking himself a bit, but you know, what can you do?
I've been there myself in those kind of situations where you're on your final closing laps and you drop it. You're just pushing a bit too hard, but your tyres are screaming at you, asking you to back off and give it a bit of a rest as you still try and finish the race and put yourself into a bit of a survival mode. But again, beautiful P2 points for yourself, keeping you on the top spot in the driver's standings. But the Haas being a threat in constructors, so watch out for them, my friend.
Yeah, well, we're keeping an eye on them.
Pass you on to Tom Carter if there's any questions.
Yeah, you said that the race was messy. I just wanted to ask what you meant by that a little bit more into the specifics. Was there any moments that you had that you could go into with other drivers that might have happened?
Too many to remember, to be honest.
Was it a messy one today? I did see that quite a few drivers retired, so should we expect a few post-race penalties, I guess is my question.
Yeah, I expect probably in the range of 20, probably. All different
Jeez,
types.
man. Not
So it's
looking good.
gonna be hard for the stewards this race, I think. But yeah, the first few laps, yeah, I dropped all the way down to basically last after getting taken out twice. And
That's unfortunate.
ever since then, it was just wheel banging from people not wanting giving up positions. When it's already lost. But
Hmm.
we see I got damage from a safety car restart as well.
Yeah.
So I had
Well,
wing damage, but it's okay.
I'd say the response to that, to you and to every driver that's listening that participated in today's race is report everything that you think is poor standards, because if you don't report poor standards that you see, then you have no right to complain about the standards, as you are not actively helping to improve them. So if you did see any driving that you didn't like today and you agree with what Craigie said, then do get some reports in as well as clips of what you've seen.
Alrighty.
Absolutely correct. But again, congratulations on P2 though, my friend, and it was a good finish for yourself. More points and propelling you higher in the keeping your top spot in driver standings. But we shall move on now to the victor. It's another Haas on the top spot, and it's not dynamic. It's his teammate Goran. Congratulations, mate, and what a fantastic race towards the end. Just keeping it safe and using those track limit penalties to your advantage in benefiting to take the top spot. It was beautiful to see. And do you want to give us a rundown? How was you feeling in qualifying?
Thanks. First of all, congrats to Craigie and Kevin on the podium. But the qualify, but it was good. I have race pace. I always on the qualify 5 or 6 place. That's my spot to begin. I know that the track is penalty. I don't know how to say. Lots of penalties, and then I'll try to avoid it. I have one warning, and that's when someone attacked me and he pushed me off, but doesn't matter. The race, for me, I didn't have any incidents because I was always ahead. But I see the behind me is what messy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I will have to miss such 2 races. I'm going on vacation. That's Craig is safe from Haas by my side, but from we will see.
Beautiful stuff. And it's unfortunate to see that you're going to miss the next 2 races, but you can go on vacation with a smile knowing that you are the victor this week before you go. So you took your first victory out here in EU2, and hopefully we hope to see you up here many more times as we get ourselves almost to the halfway point of the season. Only one more race until we have a bit of a break and swing back to the second half.
So Monaco next week as well.
It is the infamous Monaco. So you're going to miss a track that is going to potentially kill and murder a lot of drivers if they cannot keep their nose
I love
clean.
Monaco, but I really love Monaco. But
Me too. Me too. I agree.
Again, congratulations, and I will pass you on to Tom Carter for any questions.
Yeah, I was just wondering, how did you manage to save your tyres so well? I saw that you did quite a lot of laps on those hard tyres. So what were they like at the end?
It wasn't so bad. It was 30% rear tires.
Really?
I don't know. It's about the setup, I think. But I came home 10 minutes before the race, and from YouTube entered the setup, and it's brilliant.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know then for tomorrow. I'll be racing tomorrow, and myself with other drivers appreciate that knowledge. Thank you very much.
I can give you the link where I took the setup. If you want, you can try.
You know what? I'm not gonna turn that down. I'm not gonna turn that down.
Okay, I will post in the chat.
Thank you very much.
Or you want in the DM.
Awesome.
Okay.
Beautiful. Yeah. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. and I think we can end it here. It was a beautiful race for Haas once again taking a victory. Team Haas certainly having the smiles for the past 2 weeks as we set sights on Monaco round 6 next week. The infamous Monte Carlo. Who is going to be the victor on this one? They say if you start on pole, you're most likely going to win the race. But do not forget that Sid has had pole for, I think, 2 races in a row. So
Yeah.
fumbled both attempts at taking victory. He can set it in the 1 lap, but can't do it in the race. Can he hold out that P1 position in Monaco, or will he cost himself once again? We can only wait to find out. But be sure to follow us on the TikTok and get yourself in the Discord. It's been mentioned in the chat if you want to be a part of all this spicy racing action. But we shall see you next week.